Hello and welcome to another edition of RABtoons Designs Models live on stream. Don't know why that was so awkward. I didn't realize that in my head probably. Anyway, today we are making some more Final Fantasy Tactics models. I prepared in advance the characters I need all the way through the rest of the script, so I don't need to accidentally reveal the script. So today we are making Black Mage, Barkeep, Rudvich, Besrudio Bunansa, which is Mustadio's father, and Thief. So that's a bit more than the usual 3 per stream that I normally do, but I figured I got a bit more time today and the tactics characters are a lot easier to make. So without further ado, let's jump in. So I'm going to start with Black Mage. Got our template ready, so here we go. The music today is also going to be slightly different. Someone suggested that I make a playlist of the substituted music for Final Fantasy Tactics soundtrack to test whether the content ID, sorry, not Final Fantasy 14 Tactics, whether the content ID software picks up these tracks. So let's see how that goes. So let's see, we've got Black Mage. Hello people who've joined the stream as well, sorry. Sin606, Blackjack, Viral. Viral is actually the one who suggested the playlist idea. Oh, you had me worried the music wasn't working there, Blackjack. Hello 64 Power, hello Kitsune Arcfire. Okay, so we have the Tactics Black Mage. I know I could technically just reuse this model, but it's been a while since I've drawn this one, and I think we can possibly make it look a bit better. Plus the Tactics Black Mage doesn't exactly look the same, so it's worth updating. Okay. Black FFT Black Mage. Hello Cirque Oromoff and Roberto. Oh hey, Doobie's here. Hey Doobie. Where was I? That's on the wrong layer for a start, so we want that one down there. Yeah, whatever. Little sexist, but I'm not going to bother making a female equivalent since this is for only one scene. I might just adjust the chat. No, that's fine. Alright. Let's move the image over there. Okay, already we're a little off center, but that's where the old nudging tool comes in. So the hat's not exactly like the OG Black Mage, so that's more justification for not just reusing that one. I'm probably not going to use much of this base model because of how the Black Mage looks. This mixtape a banger. I wonder why that is. I still can't believe it come after music in a live stream. It's unbelievably relentless. Yeah, that's the unfortunate life of a content creator. Alright, so I'm going to do the cloaky thing to start with before I even attempt doing the black eyes. Sorry, yellow glowy eyes. I was just about to say, to differentiate from the base Black Mage, to make it a female. Yeah, that... Well, there's not actually that much difference between the two. I could easily tweak it if I wanted to. But anyway, this is just more to, you know, do an update on the classic Black Mage model that we already have. Alright, so he's obviously not going to have ears, even though these are technically just normal humans in the context of tactics itself, since your units can change jobs on the fly. Why don't Dark Knights get cool ass hats too? I don't know, Viral. It's a shame. What I want to know is why don't the Dark Knights in Tactics have a similar helmet to Gafgarion? I got music claimed once for something that played for literally 2 seconds when I did a raid of another streamer. Yeah, that copyright tool they use is quite nasty. So is Poop going to get a new outfit? Yep, he's going to get some brand new drip. Adobe Flash. Yep, that's the software I'm using. Some geezer. Oh, I see you're answering Yukimura Sonata 5 up there. Okay, so he's wearing quite high-waisted stripy pants. Or trousers if you're from T-Land like I am. So you can hear how this music that I'm playing is similar sounding to Tactics, but different enough where it obviously isn't evoking the copyright gods. Alright, sorry, I'm kind of drawing a blank on how to do these legs. I'll have to shift the body up just to get my bearings. Let's give that a go. Ack. Old Gaffy is a fell knight with only 2 skills. He's a fake. Good old Gafgarion. Totally trustworthy bloke. Okay, that looks a bit more correct. Or does it? Why is this not looking right? I think it's because obviously the cloak is what's giving the model its depth. And they've got quite high boots with stitching. That's one track down. I don't think it's going to tell me as I'm streaming whether the track is copyrighted or not, striked or not. We'll just have to find out when it goes to my uploads. Wait, SE came for you. SE Doobie answered the question there. Yeah, Warner Chappelle. So they seem to own the label that Square uses for releasing the soundtrack, so technically they're in the right for going after I didn't catch what that message was. Hope it wasn't important. Technically they're in the right for claiming stuff, but it's still a little bit bullshit. It just stifled creativity in my opinion. Oh hey, Daikaiju Tony's here. Gaff Garen would be probably an okay guy if he didn't keep stabbing people in the back for money. Woody though, he kind of strikes me as a guy who was always kind of a dick. Hey Rab, what is your favourite job in FFT? Probably the good old thief job, which is one of the models we'll be making today. Mainly because it's always fun to steal stuff from enemies in Final Fantasy games, even if it is slightly frustrating. Alright, so it didn't quite add up there. I'm just doing this now to make things a bit easier later on. Why do they do lines? Oh yeah, because it's the waist of his trousers. Let's just test something else. Yeah, that's fine. Steel, turns, and hearts. I might have missed part of the conversation now. I was just checking the track that's playing to make sure that's not what you were referring to. Alright, why has that done that? I remember when YouTube used to not censor because of music. It doesn't sound political, just bad strategy. We gamers make them big, they cripple potential itself. Fallout is impossible for me to stream. Yeah, it's because they got into a bit of legal trouble, I think a few years ago. I can't remember what the specifics were, but they just sort of applied a sort of blanket fix to the whole thing. They just automatically copy strike, sort of block anything there and then without a trial, just because it's easier for them rather than reviewing things on a case-by-case basis. And I'm not sticking up for them here. I kind of get why they have that approach, because it would just be impossible to sort of, you know, govern that many videos at once. But at the same time, it does cause bullshit like what I'm having to do now. I am thankful for our good folks on Discord who helped me source alternate music for these videos. That also gives me a... what's the word? It helps me discover new music I may not have necessarily found myself, because I don't play that many games outside of my comfort zone, so it's been nice finding, like, hearing music from games I don't necessarily play. Okay, so I'm just testing something out here. This looks incredibly cursed at the moment. I also saw Everything Everywhere All at Once. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's among my top 10 favourite movies ever now. Been hearing a lot of good stuff about that. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Apparently it's a better example of multiverse shenanigans than the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness film. This character is kind of racist. What do you mean? do this. Let's just link those two up. Wow, that already looks a lot better than the original Black Mage model I did way back in Final Fantasy 1 in a nutshell. Sorry, poop. Rab, pretty sure that's a troll given the username. Oh, I didn't even see his username. Thanks for handling that one though. I feel quite stupid now that I didn't notice his username. It's always got to be one. You poop is better. If you weren't familiar with my videos, you'd think that was a very strange comment. I'll say this, he's definitely a lot chunkier than the original Black Mage model. Okay, so we've done all that. Don't think we need that anymore. So let's give him some arms. Okay, that doesn't look quite right. There we go. This track kind of sounds like it's from Tactics anyway. Front mission, that'd be why. Okay, so I don't normally do this, but I'm going to shift him actually into the white box, because that will just avoid problems when I actually animate. There we go. We have finished the Black Mage. And I actually think he turned out pretty good. Let's do a side by side as Doobie suggested. I think that is miles better. You can definitely see the improvement. This one's very rough looking. This one looks a bit more refined. Sorry, poop, you've been replaced. Deleted. Okay, so that's one model down. Who's next? Aha, Barkeep. Now this is going to be an interesting one because, like many characters in Tactics, he's even worse because I think all he has to his name is a it's a portrait picture. Can you make Tifa's boobs bigger? I think they're big enough already on the RABtoon model. I don't think that's necessary. Okay. Barkeep. The story of how Akira Ifukube Kubi, who traditionally composed most Godzilla's OSTs, and Koichi Sugiyama, Dragon Quest butted heads. It's funny if a Kubi thought his music was insensitive to cultures. Right, where was I? Right, Final Fantasy Tactics. Barkeep. Oh, hey, look, it brings up my live stream. So that's all we're gonna have to work from, I think. Let me just double check. God, fan wikis have just gotten unbearable to use over the years. Sorry, I think you got some Wikipedia page on your ads. So you can see that little tiny sprite is all we've got to work with. But we're gonna make it work. Hey, Lydell M. Barkeep, is there a trouser smith in town? Say, for instance, a goodly knight has browned his trousers, and I just mean an absolute deluge. New poop got drip. Yeah, he's got them Shantotto pants, as Sin606 pointed out. So for this guy, I'm going to do what I did for Draklau. And I am going to borrow a previously made character. Just his head though. So that's Andrew DeSalvo from Silent Hill 4 in a nutshell. So I'll get rid of that head. I may borrow his body as well, but we'll see. Is that Thracia 556? Is the music Fire Emblem 4? Yes, yes it is. Well, it's a Fire Emblem game. So let's get rid of the existing hair. Now, people say that Nintendo is very anal about music, and whilst that is true, I've actually found I've used a lot of Nintendo music as substitutes for Final Fantasy music, and I seem to be getting away with it so far. And I think that is possibly I have two versions of the track. I think it's because mainly the content ID thingy is looking for whether one, the video is anything to do with the game the music is from. So a Final Fantasy game video with Nintendo music might throw them off a little bit, but we'll see how long that works for me. Cool. I hated that game. Great music though. One thing I noticed, in Final Fantasy 3 3D Remake and in Final Fantasy Tactics, why do none of the characters have noses? Good question. I guess it's just that particular artist style. I'm pretty sure the Final Fantasy 3 Remake artist is the same one who did the Tactics artwork. Okay, it didn't look right at first, but now it does. Drawing balding hairstyles is always tricky in this style. There's kind of a balance to be struck. So let's copy that skin tone. A bit darker. That's a little bit too dark. Let's fill in that gap. Okay, so I think that's about as accurate as the head is going to get, because I don't have a lot to work with. And as you can see, from that is literally all we have to work with, and I'm pretty sure that's just a box standard bartender outfit, so this will be fine. So let's shift the body over here so I can line it up with his neck. I think the Barkeep used to work outside, considering the skin tones of most people in FFT. Yeah, I could kind of get that. Now, I could be lazy and... no, that won't work. Oh shit, what's this spooky music? It's cool. MI2SE soundtrack, LeChuck's Torture Chamber. That's one of Padeka's obscure games that I've never played. It's good though, because these obscure games, the developers no longer care about them, so completely risk-free in using them. I mean, the lower half of his body doesn't actually really matter, because in the animation he is, funny enough, going to be behind a bar, because he is a barkeep. Can you put a kiss on the bartender, like, on that? Eh? Such an odd face. All weight is on the bottom, around the jaw. Yeah, he is an unusual looking guy. I just find it funny, it's the second time I've used this guy as a base for a tactics character. Okay, where's the gap? I see the gap. Just neaten up some of these lines. Don't need poop anymore. I'm going to borrow your shoe colour. The barkeep tends to bar. Mind blown. He looks like he beats kids mercilessly. I understood that reference. Some geezer. Most of the nobles in this game were dicks. I see so many like them today. I think Zolbag was the only one I liked, though telling Argus to shoot at Forks Eaton lost him some points. So by the end of Tactics, even though he was sorry in the end, I still found Zorbag to be a little irredeemable. Like, he could have stopped at any point before, when he started opposing Dicedog, and he didn't, so he's just as culpable for what happened, just as much as Dicedog himself. Tactics in a nutshell. Yeah, that's the one I'm working on at the moment. In fact, it's almost finished, the video, actually. I think I might be able to bash out over the next 2 days if I really put my all into it, which I'm trying to. Hence why I'm doing a stream at the moment with quite a few characters on the docket to create. So let's attach his head to his body. Ooh, he's lost his hairpiece. We don't want that. Which townsfolk are more dickish? Final Fantasy Tactics or the one in Stranger's Paradise? Probably the ones in Stranger's Paradise. The townsfolk in Tactics aren't that bad. You don't actually meet that many. Yeah, the townsfolk in Stranger of Paradise were very odd. I found it strange talking to them after every mission, with that awkward sort of standing around with their lips flapping in the wind, lazy style of cutscene. Okay, so that's the Barkeep. I think we did a pretty good job extrapolating from that tiny little sprite. Have you already recorded all the lines for this one? Yep. That was completed quite a while ago. One of my favourites. I had to skip a couple in nutshells because of not having finished games, so this is welcome news. Oh boy, Tactics in a nutshell. Can't wait for that. I really hope it doesn't disappoint. I've been putting a lot of work into this one in particular to make sure it's, because I know Tactics is a beloved Final Fantasy title and I want to make sure I do it right. So the next on our list is Rudvich. I think he's also going to be another one that doesn't have proper artwork, but we'll see. I know he kind of has artwork. It's very blurry, but I can work with that. So let's grab that one. It's funny, he looks quite slim there, but his character, his model in game kind of made him look a bit chunky. I suppose that you can say that about a lot of characters in Tactics. What soundtrack is this? Ah, this is Kevin MacLeod. He's a royalty-free music producer who allows people to use his music in their videos royalty-free, funnily enough. If you've ever watched, I can't remember what the channel's called, but he does history videos. They're animated in like little stick figure style. He basically explains history in a sort of entertaining way. He uses a lot of Kevin MacLeod music, and as a content creator myself, the music always sticks out like a sore thumb to me, because I thumbed through Kevin MacLeod's library many a time, so I'm familiar with a lot of his tracks. Let's see, Rudvich. I saw the Final Fantasy 3 in a nutshell before playing it. Don't skip the nutshells. I don't play the MMFF games, but the nutshells are worth a watch. Yeah, but 13.2 is one I started, and I keep meaning to finish. Don't want it spoiled. Oh man, RABtoons. If your favourite character and RE character from the In a Nutshell versions could meet, who would they be, and what do you think could happen? So that would be Wesker meeting Noel Kreis. Those are two very different personality types. I think Wesker would be fascinated with Noel's time travel shenanigans and would want to exploit that to maybe potentially carry out his own nefarious schemes. And Noel would just be very confused by Wesker's obsession with Chris. Potential skit: Ramza save and recruit Chocobo. Some battles later, Ramza wonders where all the eggs in the roster came from, and then the eggs hatched to reveal a baby Chocobo. Yeah, the script and all that has all been finalised a long time ago, so sadly there won't be anything like that. Let's put a white background behind the model, or a beige model, that works just as well. I didn't want this black border around it, so let's get rid of that. I think you're going to like our take on Deleter, Kane Alexander. You just have a forward-facing template. Yeah, what's wrong with that? What nutshell do you plan on doing after Tactics? So after Tactics it's back to 14 to do the post-Heaven's Ward shtick. Then after that I'm hopefully looking to do Tactics Part 2, because this is Tactics Nutshell is going to be a two-parter because there's just so much content in that game, in the story alone. And after that I'm not sure, by the time I get there it will probably be Halloween time, so Silent Hill Homecoming in a nutshell, I guess. Let's get character portrait as well. Yeah, that's so weird. Look, his face is fat, but his body is skinny. I'm just going to keep it simple and, you know, I won't bother making him look like Andrew DeSalvo again. Fuck off, CC Cleaner. The Rudvich sketch without details or colour looks like Sid from 10. You reckon? Sid from 10 didn't have hair. Okay, so this hair is interesting. Let's see how this goes. He would hang out with him for 7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I could spare for you, Noel Christ. You will reveal to me your time travel powers, and then I will go back in time and I will kill Chris when he's a baby, and then complete global saturation will be mine. Yes, yes. So he kind of has his hair swept over like that. Kind of like Glagros. Are tactic spoilers allowed to be spoken here? It's a very old, it's a almost 30-year-old game. I'd say go for it. Heard some Monster Hunter music playing earlier, even though ever thought about giving that a swing. I could, but I don't think they're very, unless someone wants to correct me, they're not very story-driven games. My specialty is story-driven video games to turn into nutshells. I need less FFT advanced. The main difference between FFT art style and the RAB art style, RAB's characters have noses. And thanks for that bit of voice work, man. Anytime, I miss making Resident Evil parodies, but there's a long, complicated reason for why we're not doing them at the moment. But I am looking to go back to Resident Evil as soon as I can. I just need to work out how we're going to do it. Alright. Getting distracted. This guy's hair in the artwork is not very consistent with his character portrait. I'm not sure which one to go for. Now, given this guy is kind of a minor character, I'm inclined to leave the hair like this. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell because of the sprite work, but I'm going to err on the side of that's not supposed to be a parting. I don't know. Who cares? It's Rudvich. He only appears for a couple of scenes. Frickin' air show going on, scaring my birds. Burps. Be careful requesting Monster Hunter in a nutshell. That's how you get an April Fool's video. FFT spoiler: the female assassins are actually Yuffie and her long-lost sister. Did you do Operation Raccoon City? No. The only jokes I think of for a Dragon Quest nutshell is that the composer denied war crimes and Stephen Blum voiced a slime once. What? The character in the screen, he looks like he's wearing a toupee. So this is another discrepancy. His artwork is pale, but his character model is tan. This guy is very confusing. Oh well, the character in the nutshell says his name is Rudvich, so you'll just have to take my word for it. This is Rudvich. He is an older gentleman, so give him some defining facial features. Ooh wee. What's up with that? What's up with that? Yeah, Sephiroth dancing is one of my favourite gags. I don't often animate characters dancing in my style because I'm not very good at it, but the Sephiroth dance is one of my favourites. Let's shift his body down to make this a bit easier. So that's kind of a fat neck because apparently he's a fat man. What on earth is this outfit? For a character that'll be in one scene, he sure is giving you a hard time. I find that with a lot of characters I create, unfortunately. So much work just for one scene's worth of a character. Crap. Final Fantasy Tactics is Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones. Yeah, it's funny you say that. Just wait until the nutshell comes out, and I think you'll be somewhat of a prophet. Those almost look like band oilers or sashes. Not sure what the hell they are supposed to be. So yeah, there's a cape. Not cape. Not sure what you call this. Where it is, it comes down to there. And then it looks like he's wearing knee-high boots. Not completely out of the ordinary for this universe. Final Fantasy Tactics is War of the Roses after War of the Roses. Hey RABtoons, did you ever expect the dancing Sephiroth gag to become as popular as it did? No, actually, I'm very surprised enough people got the joke. Basically, I fucked up there. If you've ever watched SNL, there used to be a recurring sketch years ago called "What's Up With That," where Kenan Thompson plays like a TV presenter, and he has a host on, a series of like guest stars who are quite high profile, like for things like Tom Hanks, you know, basically big name celebrities, and the joke is before they get to speak, he just breaks into song and dance, and he sings, well, what's up with that? And it just goes on for a very long time, and you either get it or you don't. I would describe the sketch. And my reasoning behind doing it as a gag was because this Crisis Core was supposed to be Zack's game, and I felt Sephiroth was kind of showing him up a little bit in his own game. So I thought, where else have I seen that before? And I immediately thought of that particular sketch from SNL. So I thought, let's combine the two together. I didn't expect as many people to get the joke as I did, because I kind of just did it for my own entertainment. But it was nice to see enough people get the joke and appreciate it, and even love Sephiroth dancing. Okay, so I still say the head looks nothing like it, but he looks accurate to how he looks in the game, so I am happy with that. RABtoons, what's the Final Fantasy VII Anniversary news that's coming out next week? I don't know, I'm kind of dreading fucking everywhere going to be talking about Final Fantasy VII for God knows how long. I don't know, over the past 2 years I've kind of not grown to hate Final Fantasy VII, but I'm kind of getting bored of it, and it's just dominating sort of Final Fantasy as a series in general, and the remake just wasn't really my thing. Not really liking where it's going, and I just have no interest in where it's going towards, and I just dread it being everywhere. I might have to sort of mute the keyword 7 remake, Final Fantasy 7, etc. on my various bits of social media just to get away from it all. But I suspect there's probably going to be an announcement of the second part of the remake coming out, possibly Ever Crisis as well, and God knows how many fucking spin-offs they're milking out of the franchise. Who cares? Final Fantasy VIII is much better. That's a very hot take there, but at this point I'll agree with you, because I'm just so burnt out on 7. I still love Tifa as a character. She's still my #1 gal. Okay, quite happy with shit. Hang on a second. Okay, so he has. Okay, so we can't delete here that just yet because I need to borrow that colour. Even the artwork is detailed for a person who literally gets killed on screen. News is likely part 2 in Ever Crisis. Resident Evil 2? Nope. Final Fantasy VII is a game, but it's like a universe in Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII is a franchise within itself. And I think that's the problem, Tony. It's become a franchise, and it's kind of because of that, it's overshadowing other things to do with Final Fantasy. I think even at this point, it will overshadow any 16 news, whatever the hell's happening with that. Another £50 for part 2, I expect. And that's the other part. I know 7 Remake has enough content to be a full game, but because you know what it's based on, it doesn't feel like a full game. And I just do not care for any of the Kingdom Hearts bullshit that happened in the last couple, because I didn't finish the game myself. I got up to where you climb up to Shinra HQ for the first time, and you have a chance to do all the side quests and stuff. And that's where I stopped playing. I just kind of watched the rest of the game on YouTube. I watched a Let's Play of it. I don't care for any of that nonsense that happens in the last couple of chapters. It just does not interest me. And I would talk about the biggest thing that pisses me off, but it's a massive spoiler, so I won't go into detail. But basically, it's just why devalue something from the original trilogy like that? Is all I'll say, and hopefully you'll understand what I mean if you know what I'm talking about. This Radiant Silvergun music sounds like it's straight out of Final Fantasy Tactics. Yeah, this is Ratchet. Oh, the chat's probably lagging behind, but yeah, I'm on Ratchet & Clank now as of that comment. RABtoons, are you telling me that this dude that you're making a model for has that much bling and is just a throwaway? Yep. Welcome to the life of an animator. Ooh, that's way too zoomed out. There we go. We have Rudvich. Actually, two-scene wonder. He has two scenes in a nutshell. RABtoons, have you played Resident Evil fan-made games like Mortal Knight, Kendo's Cut, and Waiting During the Storm? Can't wait for that one. Can't say I have. No. Looks through the Final Fantasy in a Nutshell playlist. I know what's missing. Mystic Quest. Yeah, Mystic Quest is another one I get requested a lot. I mean, I'm playing through Chrono Trigger at the moment. Is that not enough? So many games to make a nutshell out of so little time. So yeah, Rudvich. All your characters should become NFTs. That's going to be a big no from me, Chief. I do not agree with NFTs in any capacity. And it's annoying because my characters are... Well, my template basically is rife for NFT making, and that kind of eats me up a little bit inside because the potential's there, and I just don't agree with that at all. Fucking bored ape shit. Character needs more maroon in the midsection. I'll probably go back and fix that. I'll put something in the Discord Patreon page and I'll correct that later. It feels like he's pantsless because the shade on his pants is very similar to his face. Hey, Jesus. Rab, the area around the model's midsection is a different colour than the robe. But that's how he is in the artwork. Oh, no, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Let's just grab that colour quickly. Get rid of you. Man, it's a shame the soundtrack went very generic for Ratchet & Clank Future and onwards, and every game after that. Can't say there's really a single track from any Ratchet & Clank game after the PS3 games I would say is memorable. And let's copy that onto there. There we go, so he's ready for animating. It's going pretty good, Jesus, apart from potential abscess tooth. Looking to get that sorted out in the next week or so, but yeah, other than that, life's going a bit great. Sorry, just for a comment from Viral. I'll mint my RABtoons avatar instead. Don't you dare. Have you heard of the indie horror game Poppy Playtime? No. Please tell me there is a joke about how Ram's outfit in the final chapter looks like he is wearing underwear on the outside. So this nutshell only covers the first two chapters of the game, because the story is so chunky and there's so much to rip-on, I've decided to make this parody a two-parter, but you'll still get plenty of content, don't worry. So you won't be seeing the ass chap outfit of Ramza in this particular nutshell, but don't worry, when we get there it will be commented on. Yeah, 7 was a good game, but it's not, oh my god, best ever. And there are so many other games in the series to discuss. That's what I agree with Blackjack. It just feels like Square acts like 7 is the only Final Fantasy there is, and it's just frustrating. I'm readying myself for Doctor Strange. Saw the first Doctor Strange on WandaVision to prepare for Doctor Strange 2. Also, I saw What If it was bad. What If was an alright series. Animation was a little bit janky, but I can't really talk myself. Getting distracted. His mercenary outfit looks so much better. Okay, Black Mage, Barkeep, Rudvich. Okay, those are done. Next one is Besrudio Bunansa, which is Stardio's father. He may be another one who doesn't have artwork, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. I can already tell this is going to be a pain in the ass. Why does a picture of Sid from Final Fantasy 12 come up? He's got a bit of a Hulk Hogan goatee going on there. Square is just squeezing its most successful IPs. Okay, so if you Google Mustardio's father, pretty much nothing but Mustardio comes up. So might just be this one portrait we have to go from. What song is this? You may be out of sync with what I'm hearing, but the last track was Return to Castle Wolfenstein. The one before that was Stealth 2 from Return to Castle Wolfenstein. This is Secret of Mana Remake OST. I Close My Eyes Rearranged Game Over theme. I hear Mana music, I think from Secret. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some guesswork, I think. Yeah, we really don't have a lot to work with here. Again, what, seriously, why does Sid from 12 come up? Okay, I don't really care how his outfit's gonna look. We're just gonna freestyle it. Jesus Christ, that's blurry. Let's maybe scale you down a little bit. And let's get your carrot portrait up. RABtoons, have you heard of Rune Factory? If so, have you played any of the games? No and no. Sorry. I'm actually quite limited in my scope of games I've played. I mainly have favourite series and I stick to it. I don't venture out of that safety zone that often. And to answer your question, Jesus, however you pronounce your name, Chrono Trigger's going good. Apparently I'm halfway through it. I just did the boss where you find out exactly where Lavos comes from when you defeat Azala. Sid from Final Fantasy XII is also a Bunansa. That would explain it. Okay, right. Let's do that. Why is that doing that? Stop it. Cease. We need a 2D Final Fantasy fighting game. Yeah. I would love a sort of Smash Brothers style version of Dissidia. You know, like a 2D fighter style game. Because whatever they tried to do with Final Fantasy Dissidia NT just did not work. Shadow Hearts. How about doing a nutshell of less well-known games like Alundra to Guardian Crusado feature cult that mutate themselves into Ridley from Metroid-like monsters with Boobs, Deep Fear, Blue Stinger, etc. Mainly because that would get barely any views, and whilst I started out this series for fun, unfortunately to appease the YouTube algorithm, I kind of have to chase the stuff that's popular. You could argue that Chrono Trigger isn't exactly, you know, oh my god, hype levels are popular these days, but enough people have asked me to make Chrono Trigger. I kind of have to cave and finally play it myself to give people what they ask for. More Dissidia like the old ones, nothing like how NT ended up. Okay, so I think he has a beard, but I can't quite tell. I'm going to err on the side of yes. It's quite hard to tell with these pixels. So he's an older man, so let's give him a few wrinkles. If one day when stars align and the Parasite Eve remake is announced, I will remove my pants and go get a butter. Why, Tony? Why? Hey RABtoons, how's it going? Not too bad, Wyatt. Just chilling, making some models. Let's go a little bit darker with the skin shade. Yeah, that looks alright. He feels like he should have a ponytail, but he doesn't. Well, not as far as I can tell anyway. Did Mustadio have a beard? I don't recall him having one. That's because this isn't Mustadio, it's his dad. Speaking of which, I probably should save this model. Besrudio. Oh, tactics, you and your made-up names. Someone's probably going to correct me and say that is a real name. Jesus Christ, that's a big head. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Okay, so it looks like he has a very simple outfit, which is cool, because there is like no artwork of him. That is a real name, by the way. See, I told you someone would correct me. Today I learned. Besrudio is a real name. The future is now, old man. I don't think Chrono Trigger needs a remake. Maybe a proper remaster and a restoration to the cinematics and maybe updated sprites. I agree. Because Flash has this weird quirk where if I copy something from Photoshop, it treats it like a separate object I have to go in and out of, which is frustrating to say the least. That's just so I don't lose the colour whilst I am. So obviously there's a gap in the model somewhere. We're gonna have to find it. I see it. RABtoons, what was your favourite handheld growing up? Game Boy Advance, hands down. It's got some. Probably got my biggest favourite back catalogue of games that I could probably think of from the top of my head. Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga. Cheating a little bit, but the Super Mario Advance games, which are technically SNES games, but still on Game Boy Advance, so it counts. The Sonic Advance series. What else? Golden Sun. Okay, this guy's starting to look like Steve Jobs. Next you'll tell me Daniel is a legit name people give their kids. Unfortunately that is a real name. RABtoons, why don't you leave your streams up and monetize them? Because it makes my channel video list look very cluttered. The way YouTube organizes your videos on your channel, it doesn't like, well for me anyway, it doesn't let me organize them by type unless I'm doing them in a playlist. So unfortunately I have to unlist the videos and put them in the playlist to keep them up. Have you played Triangle Strategy, and if so, what are your thoughts? Nope, but I do plan to pick it up eventually. My backlog of games to play is very sizable, so can't say exactly when that will be. It's taken me long enough to get through Chrono Trigger. Oop. Didn't mean to do that. I know that's literally what his sprite looks like, but this doesn't look like it's going to mesh well with the other character models, but he's only really a minor character, so I'm not too worried. To Raz in the chat, favourite MCU flick? It's probably recency bias, but Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is my current favourite. Mainly because of the Raimi influence. The way he directs movies, his cheesy directing style just speaks to me. RABtoons, do you play more horror games or RPG games? I'd actually say I err more on the side of horror games, because Silent Hill, Dead Space, Resident Evil, Amnesia, all those are some of my favourite horror series, and basically every game from those series I've played. I'd say I've played more than Final Fantasy, ironically. There we go. Besrudio Bunansa, Stardew's father. Although he looks a bit more like Steve Jobs. Let's move his head down, maybe that's what's not looking quite right. I'm not a massive fan of fighting games since 606. Okay, who's next on the list? Thief. This could be an interesting one. Interestingly to me, this is the male and female thief, but they both look feminine to me. That's probably a more accurate image to use. Once again, meet halfway, a Parasite Eve in a nutshell. I'd have to replay it. Didn't mean to do that. I'd have to replay it, because I've not played Parasite Eve in a very long time. Just use the thief from Final Fantasy 1 in a nutshell, see if anyone notices. I'm a bit more professional than that, as tempting as that offer is. Y'all don't appreciate the masterpiece that is superhero movie. A superhero movie has one of my favourite jokes of all time, which is when the bad guy says, "These can cut through diamonds," and then the hero goes, "I'm not wearing diamonds." I think I butchered the joke, but it's delivered better in the movie. It's one of my favourite gags from a spoof movie. My budgie is watching intently. Aww, I love budgies. Final Fantasy Tactics Thief. Tony, my dude, why do you like Morbius? Like, just everything about it just looks tacky and horrible as shit. Like, I don't mean to be rude, and I try to respect other people's opinions, but Morbius just genuinely looks terrible. And I'm not even like the biggest MCU sort of what's the word? I don't want to say fanboy, but Shill, is that the word? I don't know. Anyway, I'm distracting myself. Shill, yes, that is the word I was looking for. I gave a review of Morbius on the channel GigaHub, and I do raise my voice a lot, but I gave it a 6 out of 10. Sad seeing all that Blade brought to Marvel movies' third movie. Morbius is just a way for Sony to make movies. More like it's for them to hold on to the Spider-Man rights as firmly as possible. See case in point, the El Muerte, however it's pronounced, movie they're making. You know, that classic, well-known Spider-Man villain, El Muerte. This track's been going on for quite a while. There's 2 of them in a row, and they're both 8 minutes 56 long. Derp Man Band. First time catching one of your streams. I enjoy your content quite a lot and have introduced many friends to it. Thanks and keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, Derp Man Band, and that means a lot to me. I like hearing how people share these videos with their friends and their friends enjoy it. Me personally, I've always been scared to hell of sharing my videos myself, so the fact that people are doing it themselves is great news, because I just cannot bring myself to do it. Even posting my behind the light comics on Reddit is nerve-wracking, because I'm just sort of scared of, because Reddit can be quite judgmental, and I'm not averse to criticism, but when it's harsh criticism with sort of no point to it, so if someone just says it sucks without saying why it sucks, that's what I don't like. You can tell me my stuff is shit if you want, I don't mind. Just give a reason why you think it's shit so I can sort of work on that in future. Case in point, criticism is fine, just give a point to your criticism. You play any Shin Megami Tensei games, RABtoons? No, it's on the list. What's happened here? What layer have I been drawing on? Fuck's sake! Excuse my language. This has gone horribly wrong. Alright, how do I handle this? Let's see. And then cut that, paste that there. Hopefully we're back on track now. Now, why are the bandanas on these guys these bits here? Why is that not actually part of the bandana? Is that actually his hair? Have I been interpreting these models wrong all these years? Wait, is there a RABtoons subreddit, or was that just on the Final Fantasy XIV sub? Yeah, that was just on the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit, Blackjack. I don't have my own subreddit, I'm not that vain. Nor do I want one. I do apologise for this track playing for quite a while now. I didn't realise there was 2 of them in the playlist. I also didn't realise it was a 9-minute long track. Layer switches, the enemy of all animators. Amen to that, Sir Howell. No, I've not played any Mega Man games. Not really my kind of thing. When I first saw a link to a Nutshell video, the character designs had me before even watching. Yeah, that's interesting. Considering I've had people say that these characters look like they're staring into your soul. Yeah, I think that's about all I can really do for the head. So let's move on to the body. I made a subreddit with your name already, so I can make money off your name. Go right ahead. What's your go-to team in Chrono Trigger? I wouldn't say I really have a set team. My strategy at the moment has been whoever is lowest level in the party, I sub in, level them up. When they then overtake the rest of the party who are in reserve, I then swap them out and just basically rinse and repeat that to ensure everyone gets leveled up as I go along efficiently. Kind of like my how I play Pokemon. But I would probably say my favourite characters to use are Robo and Luca. I think that's how you pronounce her name. It's actually been interesting to me that so many people have asked for a Chrono Trigger Nutshell, because from playing it so far, it seems a comedic game in its own right. I mean, I've still been able to write a nutshell for it, but I feel like the game's kind of humorous on its own. But we'll see how people feel when the actual video comes out. This is one of the Final Fantasies I have not yet beaten or played, and I recommend you give it a go, Matt Watson. Is that the Raiders track? Treasure Planet, Battle of Procyon, OST, Deadly Pirate. This is one of the tracks Badeka has recommended. Yo, what's happening? Welcome Super Mario 9080. This sounds like John Williams. Did John Williams compose Treasure Planet? That might explain it, since this is from the Treasure Planet video game. Some of these characters wear green, but then like in the actual in the game, their models aren't green. Very annoying when you're colorblind. Oh snap, I only saw you were streaming now. Cool that you did it again so soon. Yeah, I've got a bit of capacity for it at the moment, so I thought, why not? I enjoy doing these actually, they're quite fun to draw and chat to people as I go along. I looked it up and the score was James Newton Howard. Huh. So, not John Williams. Interesting. Have you ever been contacted by Square Enix to do a promo or commercial? That'd be freaking hilarious. No, I've always kind of dreamed of the Square Enix Twitter account mentioning me or replying to anything I tweet. As they do with a lot of content creators, but not had any luck in that department yet. I would love it if they were aware of my series, but it's kind of, maybe it's good in a way because it keeps them off my radar. Keeps me off their radar with the music a little bit. Yeah, I got a bit antsy when they uploaded all the soundtracks from the Final Fantasy games themselves to YouTube. I have had the rite of passage for a content creator and been offered a Raid Shadow Legends promo collab thingy, whatever you want to call it, and I've promptly ignored it because I just don't want that crap at the start of my videos. Because it annoys me when other people do it. Because I just know they don't want to do it, but they've been forced to do it because of how crap YouTube is. An official RAB commercial would be great. It'd be that stop motion FF6 commercial with Mog, the New York voice. I love that video. It sounds like Danny DeVito voicing a Moogle. How can you be colorblind? Just feel the colors, bro. Hey, RABtoons, what team did you go with for the final battle in 6? Hang on, there's a bit of dirt on my tablet. It's not coming off. My final team in 6. I think it was pretty much whatever I put in a nutshell. Which I can't remember. I think it was Edgar, Terror, and Sabin, maybe? I can't remember. Go back and watch the nutshell. It was whoever I put in the final team on that. Fun fact, the reason Edgar has the most lines and is pretty much the main character of our Final Fantasy VI in a nutshell is because that's who I pretty much played the entire game with whenever I got a chance. I actually very rarely had Terror in my team at all. Which is why you get Edgar in scenes he shouldn't be in the nutshell. Shit, what colour were his gloves? Yeah, good enough. I used everybody I could except for Yeti and Gogo. Your top 2 Scions of the 7th Dawn. Top 2, eh? That's an interesting number. Let's see. Probably Urianger and Alphino. I don't really care for Grahatia, Ishtola, or well, actually no, those are the 2 I only don't care for. The rest of the Scions I like. There we go. Thief. Okay, so just for fun, let's compare him to the original Thief from Final Fantasy 1. Well, he's definitely a lot shorter than the Tactics version. RABtoons, are you gonna do a doodle? I've got time to, so yeah. I think I will. So yeah, is the Tactics Thief versus the Final Fantasy 1 Thief. Final Fantasy Tactics Thief seems a tad too bright. I'll probably play with the colours at a later point. But I get what you mean. I think I might find a sprite from the game and use those colours, because the colours from the artwork all seem a bit at flux with their in-game counterparts. I reckon people would have noticed if I just used this model though. Anyway, let's get rid of Thief. Deleted. Okay, so I think I made everyone I want to make tonight. Black Mage, Barkeep, Rudvich, Besrudio Bunansa, Thief. So those are the people I have left to make for this video, but I'm obviously not going to do them tonight because I don't want to be streaming for too long. But I do have some spare time now, so I guess I will do some doodles. So let's just run through. So here's the Black Mage, Barkeep, Rudvich, Steve Jobs, and Final Fantasy Tactics Thief. Are you going to make an RE0 parody? To be honest, when I go back to Resident Evil, I probably will start with that, just because there's no Leon, there's very little Wesker in it. It'd be a good fresh slate to go back into doing Resident Evil parodies. I don't want to go into why we haven't done Resident Evil parodies for a long time at the moment, because it's a very heavy topic for me. There is a reason, and I don't really want to go into it, but I do want to get back to it soonish, so there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so let's do some doodles then, shall we? I can't wait for the Chrono Trigger auditions. Yes, I think I'm going to get a big amount of auditions for that. Doodle time. I don't want to ask, but something makes me want to draw Ursula from After Years. I'm gonna be honest, I actually have no idea what she looks like. I've only played After Years once, and I can't for the life of me remember what she looks like. Draw Magus from CR. Oh, CT. Yeah, Magus might be interesting. So I remember when I saw artwork for him, kind of looks like a generic Dragon Ball Z villain. I think he had pointy ears. And I know he had long, slick back hair, I think. Bear in mind, this is completely from memory. I don't know why Flash does that. What soundtrack is this? Command and Conquer Renegade. That's one of Podaka's recommendations. I have played Command and Conquer, but just not the game this track is from. It's a banger though. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. This is just off the top of my head. He'll pick whichever suggestion he wants, Ernesto, cool it. Well, I'm missing a lot in the chat here. I love how in Akira Toriyama games with character creators you can generally make a lot of his characters. I have a friend who played Dragon Ball Xenoverse as Chrono. I seem to recall he had Piccolo shoes. You all know the ones. I know he has staff, but I can't remember what for the life of me what it looked like. Needs his scythe, but pretty good. Oh, that's good to know. There we go. Magus. Let's just quickly compare him to a Google search. No, he's not from Final Fantasy. Oh, it wasn't that far off. Yeah, he's missing his scythe and he's not topless. I don't know why I drew him topless. Screw it, let's correct that. I think Flash may have cracked. Nope. Just very bad lag. For some reason I thought he had a magical staff. I didn't remember the scythe when I was fighting him for some reason. He didn't have Piccolo's shoes, but he did have pointy shoes. Oh, and he actually has a jockstrap. Did not notice that before. Yeah, let's just say it's a kid version of Magus. Ultraman doing 14 Gilgamesh in the butt. I'm not drawing that. Draw Chrono getting triggered. Okay. Cannot for the life of me remember what Chrono's hair looks like at the moment, so I think he wears a bandana. I have the memory of a goldfish, I swear. Draw that Super S you did back in school. How far into Chrono Trigger are you? So just after the prehistoric bit, after you fight Magus for the first time. Yeah, Chrono triggered. His hair was a bit more spiky. I was right about the bandana though. Okay, it's obviously lagging. Okay, it may have crashed for real this time. Nope, there we go. See, it's caught up. My Super S back in school was pretty much... I can't remember how I exactly used to do it, but it was pretty much the same one you generally see in the memes and stuff. Draw Leon. Alright, okay. Looking a bit more like Steve Burnside at the moment. I don't think it actually has these dots in between the letters. Yeah, didn't do too badly. Even though his hair looks a bit more like Steve Burnside. I'm just remembering when you said that whenever he gets wins the FFT tactics match, how you draw thick Ramza. Everyone's listing all the different Leons from various video games in the chat. Leon from Poreen. Pokemon has a Leon. Tales of Destiny. Now, without erasing this, Edge from Final Fantasy IV needs to throw the Buster Sword at Leon. I would draw around fan game creator, but I honestly drawing a blank on what she looks like at the moment. Thanks, Jose. That's very generous of you. Dead or alive, Leon? Any more suggestions, guys? Otherwise I'm just going to start doodling randomly. Draw a Moogle, Kupo, please. Okay. Maybe without thick outlines. Very sinister music for drawing a Moogle. I just realised I can't draw Moogles. Don't know why I'm struggling with this. Moogles are like the simplest characters to draw in Final Fantasy ever. There you go, Moogle, apparently. Draw Stickman. There you go, Stickman. Draw Prince of Persia, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time Prince. I have no idea what he looks like, but I'm gonna just draw what immediately comes to mind when I think of Prince of Persia. Nope, this just looks like Jesus. Sorry, I'm going to abandon that one. You know what, for some reason my doodling tonight's just not... I'm not really feeling it. It's not really my best efforts, so I think I'm going to abandon it, unfortunately. Not for any fault of you guys, I think my head's just not in the right space for some reason. So I think with that, I am going to say that's a night. Okay, cool. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm sorry the doodles weren't really that great tonight. The inspiration just wasn't really flowing through me like it normally does. I'm not sure why. But I had fun regardless. It's always fun to just draw and talk shit. So thank you for turning up for that. I'll catch you all on the next stream where we will be hopefully doing the last batch of tactics characters. So that'll probably be the last one for this particular nutshell. It might either be tomorrow night or Monday night. We'll see. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and I shall catch you next time. Thank you again, and good night.